How you doing? Good morning from right here. The class is about starting. I hope you can hear me well. Good morning from this area. Good afternoon to you where you are. Good evening to you where you are. As you all know, my name is Larry Badmos. I am the poetic assassin. And this morning, I'm giving a free class. This is not my typical private classes. This is a free class for everyone. And you can use this opportunity to grasp one or two things about writing. You grasp one or two things about poetry. You grasp one or two things about what again? Prose. How to write prose, how to write poetry, how to write generally. Now, so for the past 3 days, I've had nothing less than 6 or 7 messages imploring me to come live and just give some tips, just give some lessons about writing. Yesterday I thought about it. Okay, let me do this for the people, giving back to the society. So I'm making this class a free one. And if you're interested, you just listen. If you have questions, you just type your questions, and I'm gonna take them one after the other. If I don't take your questions today, I'm gonna take it in the next class. But like I said, it's a free class, so be free, listen, learn, and ask questions. A little introduction, a brief introduction. Larry Batmos, and I have 6 published books. Uh, I'm a columnist. I've written poetry for several newspapers. I've written poetry for Sun newspaper. I've written poetry for Soccer Star. I've written poetry for Symbols magazine. A lot of magazines, just to mention a few. And I've published my books in England. I've published my books in Nigeria, and I write on varieties of topics. I write about love. I write about politics. I write about what again? The weather, nature. I write about so many things. I'm vast when it comes to writing. And my journey started, I think, when I was like 11 years old. I wrote a full book. A full book. I was like 11 or 12. It wasn't published, but that was when I knew that I had the prowess of writing. I had the gift of pen. I had the power to write. I had this great power of expression. And I developed it. I started, helping myself, developing myself. And when I was through with secondary school, which you call high school right here in America, when I was through with high school, I created a niche for myself. Larry Badmos was fast becoming a household name when it comes to writing in Nigeria. And in my first year in the university, my first poem was published. The Guardian newspaper published my poem. That was the first time I got published. The Guardian newspaper published a poem of mine. That was 1999. That was the first time I came to limelight. And I started getting feedback from people here and there. Then next, Punch newspaper published a poem of mine. I think that was year 2000. And gradually, I continued building myself, reading more, learning more. I started reading foreign books, big books on literature, British books on literature, American books on literature. I started developing myself, equipping myself. I called myself the Black Shakespeare. That on the side. By 2005, I was a regular columnist for the Sun newspaper, courtesy of Femi Adesina. That was the former special advisor to the former president, Buhari, one of the best writers in Nigeria. Good, lovely diction. He writes so well. You can check out his page, Femi Adesina. He's one of the best. If you want to read something meaningful, always read his articles. is my mentor, one of my mentors. So he gave me that platform in Sun newspaper, and I became the lyricist. I was writing, I think, every Tuesday on Sun newspaper. Every Tuesday, the lyricist. Then I started getting feedbacks through my email from the East, from the West, from the North. Then I knew I was doing something powerful. I knew I was doing something magical. Then from there, 2009, I published my first book, my first full book, entitled The Gorgeous Murder. And that was how I described how I killed my pen to make you happy. How I killed my pen to create a better environment. How I killed my pen to create a beautiful wall around me. You get it? Then I became the Poetic Assassin. And people keep wondering what is behind the name Poetic Assassin. Forget it. But that is my pen name, and I've added so much to the world of poetry, and I'm still adding so much to the world of poetry. I've inspired so many people. Several made me know, some didn't tell me, but it doesn't matter because I was inspired to. So I've inspired so many people to write, and that's what I want to do this morning. First and foremost, to be a good writer, you have to be original. If you are not original, you can never be a good writer. You have to create your own style. You don't have to copy nobody's style. Be original. Like I tell people, everyone is a poet. One way or the other, the way we speak. But you become a better poet when you develop yourself, when you read, when you practice. I've written, without exaggeration, I've written nothing less than 5,000 poems. Nothing less. It might be more. You keep writing. The more you write, the better you become. You are not writing because you want to write. You're writing because you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy writing, then what you're doing? Writing. Forget about writing. You have to enjoy writing. First tip. Enjoy what you do as a writer. When I write, it's like I'm taking an intoxicant. I once wrote a poetry entitled Poetry is a Drug. And I'm not joking. When I write, I feel intoxicated. I enjoy. It's like I'm smoking something legal, not illegal. So I enjoy my writing. I inhale poetry. And I exhale creativity. I've made the world my canvas, and I paint with poetry. I write with ease. When it comes to Nigeria and Africa, if I'm not the number one page, poetry page, then I'm maybe one of the first three. I pioneered poetry writing as a page. I created a page for poetry. And from then, people got to know that they can create a blog, a page for poetry. So that's what I do. So you have to be original. You don't have to be Wole Soyinka. You don't have to be Chinua Achebe. You don't have to be Wordsmith. Be yourself. Be yourself. Let people pick your book and know that this is Lanre Badmus writing. You don't have to copy nobody. You don't have to be Poetic Assassin. You don't have to copy my style. Find it's good to learn. I see people using my style. I'm happy. But let people pick up a piece of poetry and say, oh, this was written by Chukwuemeka Ngozi. Let somebody pick, oh, this was written by Musa Balarabe. Have a voice. Be distinct. Don't copy people. Let people know you. This is the work of Benga. This is the work of Michael. This is the work of Amandi, Chiamanda. Be original, especially in the world of AI. There's nothing AI has to do with poetry. If you're using AI for poetry, you're a joker. You're a clown. You're clowning around. You're joking. I've received several poetry submissions, and we've detected the use of AI. AI is a beautiful tool. AI is a good tool. Academics, you can use AI for academics. But when we talk poetry, you have to be original. AI should not think for you. If AI is thinking for you, there's nothing you're doing with poetry. If AI is thinking for you, there's nothing you're doing with prose. If AI is thinking for you, there's nothing you're doing with drama. It has to come from within like a well. It has to spring forth like a fountain. Poetry should be in you. Stop the use of AI for poetry. Use your head, use your brain. You can't be the best in a day. Being the best takes several tests. Right. I've destroyed so many poems I wrote, you know. I write a poem, it doesn't make sense, I squeeze it, I trash it. But the more I write, the more I became better. Now writing comes with ease. I have 6 published books. If you want to learn, there's so many things you can learn from me. This is one of my books, Love in the Mirror. It's a story, it's a prose about human trafficking, about prostitution. It was published in England in 2015. Love in the Mirror, The Worries of a Woman. You can check it out in Amazon. If you want to learn something about poetry, this is Selling Mississippi. It's about the nature. It's about the layout. It's about the landscape of Mississippi. I wrote poems about the rain. I wrote poems about the sun. I wrote poems about summer, about winter. Like I told you, I write about everything. And this is the Poetic Assassin COVID-19 series. These are different experiences that happened during the COVID era, 2019, 2020. What am I saying? You have to be original. You have to have a voice. Create a voice for yourself. Let people read it and say, this was written by Larry Badmus. The moment I pick up a piece of poem, I know if somebody has copied my style, because I have a distinct style. I don't write like no one. So you have to create a niche for yourself. Let people know you. Have a brand. Have a poetic brand. Brand your writing. Be creative. Be expressive. Have a style. Create your own style. You know, we've had several submissions for poetry competitions, and I see the same style by people. You will know that most of the time it was generated by AI. The judges have pointed my attention to so many people using AI. Like I said, AI is a very good tool when it comes to academics and other stuff. But when it comes to creativity, writing poetry, writing drama, writing prose, you can't allow AI to think for you. You have to think for yourself. Then when you have a voice, when you have your originality, you have to be resilient. Rome was not built in a day. You have to be persistent. You can't start writing today and say you want to make money today. Are you joking? Some may be lucky. But writing is a continuous exercise. You keep writing. You keep writing. Writing is a continuous exercise. Be persistent. Don't give up. I have some mentees that gave up along the way. They were not getting the pay. They were not getting the money. But money comes in different ways when it comes to writing. First and foremost, build yourself. Let people see what you're doing. Create a page, a writing page, a writing blog. Forget about the likes. Forget about the comments. Sometimes likes don't come. Sometimes comments don't come. Focus. Be focused on what you do. You have to have a focus. You want to enjoy writing. You want to enjoy writing your poems. You want to enjoy writing your stories. There must be a name before the fame. Fame will never precede a name. Create a name for yourself, and the fame will come if you're consistent, if you're persistent. There was a time I was only known as Larry Badmus, but with time, I became the poetic assassin. And with time, people acknowledged my prowess when it comes to poetry. I've taught so many classes on radio. I've got so many feedback. Writing is a continuous exercise. First and first, create a name. Second, be persistent. Rome wasn't built in a day. Trickles of water makes an ocean. So you have to be consistent. And let me give you one trick. Make sure you write every day. Even if you feel you're not making sense, write every day. I write every day. It's become a part of me. It's like eating. It's like drinking water. Not drinking something else. I write as if I'm drinking water. Poetry has become, or writing has become, the air I breathe. It's become a part of me. I write about everything I see. I write about men, I write about women, I write about the sun, I write about the moon, I write about the rain, I write about the oceans, I write about incidences. I have several unpublished manuscripts. Even though I still have 6 published books. I'm working on my 7th right now. So what am I saying? I have a voice, that's a name, that's a brand, and be persistent with your writing. Now, let's dive into the writing per se. You are not writing because you just want to write. You have to give the world quality. I have a mentee, and he just wants to write, he just wants to bring things out, just want to produce. Oh, I've written this, I've written that. He copies other people. No, you don't write because you want to write. You write because you want to create something beautiful for people to appreciate. You want to write because you want people to digest something great. You want people to feel good. Oh my God, how did he craft these words? How did he craft these sentences? Your dictions must be precise. Precision in your diction. You have to know what you're doing. You're not writing because you want to write. You're not writing because you want to write every day in 365 days. No. Don't make your effort a futile one. You want to write because you want to give out the best to people. You want people to marvel at the way you think. You want people to say, oh my God, see the poetic assassin. You're not just writing because you want to write. No. You are writing because you want people to be happy. People pick your poems to relax. People pick your work of art to relax. It's like a painting. It's like the Mona Lisa. People want to look at the painting. Oh my God, look at the colors. Look at the blend. People want to pick up your poem and be like, oh my God, what a writer. So you can't just come and give us something wishy-washy. No. Most people have won on my platform. I'm talking about the $10 I dish out bi-weekly. They've won because of their originality. I don't joke with originality. I can't trade originality with anything. Even if you write me 5 lines and I see your effort in writing it and it's beautiful, you're going to win. But the moment I see the work of AI helping you, aiding you, you can't win on my platform. My platform is all about originality. I can mention names of poets that started on my page several years back. Now they are doing good, but I'm not going to mention names. I can mention 5 that started with me. I'm happy for them, both men and women, doing great. I can mention 5 names that resounds in your ears when it comes to poetry. I'm happy they came from me. I'm happy I've given them advice one way or the other. I'm happy I've tutored them when it comes to writing. They're doing great. Be original, for crying out loud. And when it comes to writing, make sure all the ingredients, I'll call it ingredients, all the ingredients of poetry, at least not all, make sure these ingredients feature in your poems. When I say ingredient, I mean the figures of speech. You're writing a poem without a figure of speech. What are you doing? Are you joking? You want me to grade your poem and I see no figure of speech? I see no simile, I see no metaphor, I see no enjambment, I see no alliteration, I see no assonance, I see no oxymoron, I see no paradox. Then what you writing? Don't tell me that's poetry. That's not poetry. We all need to improve. We all need to improve. Poetry is not all about the lines. No, it's all about the content in the lines. You can put that down. Poetry is not all about the lines. It's all about the content on every line, or the content in every line. Make your lines beautiful. Make your words season your words. I want to pick up your work and say, oh my God, I've done that to some writers. I mail you immediately, I inbox you immediately. Oh my God, you're beautiful, you write well. I'm not biased when it comes to good work. I love to read good works. Dish out good content, good poetic content. I don't want to mention names. In the past 2 years, I've seen good writers on my page. Some of them I mail them immediately. Some of them I send text. Some of them I comment under their poem. Oh my God, you're blowing my mind right now. I love my mind to be blown. But not with it. No. But I want my mind blow me away with your writing. Blow me away with your substance, your poetic substance. When you have all this, then I know you mean business staying in the writing world. I know you mean business by calling yourself a poet. I know you mean business by calling yourself a writer. My first published book was in 2009, The Gorgeous Murder. And later a guy called me that he used it for his university project. That is when you know you're doing something important. My first published book. I'm not talking about the tabloids that I write for. I'm not talking about the magazines I write for. I'm not talking about the newspapers I write for. My first published book, it's not here. The Gorgeous Murder. And a student in one of the universities used it for his projects in literature, English. Then by 2012, I published my second book in England, Green, White, Green, where I detailed the problems of Nigeria in a poetic form. My love for Nigeria, the problems of Nigeria. Then I did some romantic poems. I did some geographical poems. Then I love philosophy so much. I do poems on philosophy. You're gonna like that. So what am I saying? Create your style. Let people know you for who you are when it comes to writing. Don't let them say he writes like. No. A mentor of mine once told me I was writing like a British writer. There was this British, I don't want to mention his name. There was this British writer that my style was almost like his. And with time, I diverted intentionally and created my own style. So that when several generations come after us, they will say, write like Larry Badmus, write like the Poetic Assassin. Larry Badmus' sonnet, right? The Poetic Assassin sonnet. If writers did not write sonnets in the past, we won't be writing sonnets today. If writers did not create haiku in the past, we won't be writing haiku today. What are you creating as a writer? Are you not tired of copying people? What style have you created? I'm here to charge you. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to tell you can be the best. I'm here to tell you can get a voice. In a world where there are many voices, I'm here to tell you you can make your voice a distinct one. And there's no better way you can do it than being original. Create your style. Make your content juicy. Make your content beautiful. Make poetry happy. Add something to the world of literature. Think, do you want to write poetry? Do you want to write drama? Do you want to write prose? Pick one you feel you're at ease with and build yourself. Some years back, I was, which adjective do I use? I was paid to write a book. I was paid to write a story. A fictitious story about someone, about a celebrity, you get it. If they've not read my works, they won't have given me such a project. So you must have your branded voice, distinct from others, that no one will be able to lay claim on. Then after that, like I said, be consistent. Then make your consistency as quality embedded in it. Don't say I want to write every day in 2025 and you are writing. I'm not condemning nobody, but I'm just telling you the world is expecting quality from you. Quality above quantity. I want to pick your book and read like, oh my God, just like Olamide. When I listen to Olamide, every track is a hit. I don't skip track when I listen to Olamide Bado. That is what I call quality. If I pick an Olamide album, I don't skip one track. I listen to every track back to back, especially if I'm traveling a long distance. Maybe I'm driving for like 4, 5, 6 hours. I keep listening. Every Olamide's album is a hit back to back, lyrically. I love musicians that are poets. We have some in Nigeria. I listen to them when you're lyrically. There's this guy too, Johnny Drill. I love to listen to Johnny Drill because he's a poet. I love Tupac Amaru Shakur because he's a poet. I love M.I. Abaga, or Agaba, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing wrong. M.I., the undisputed champion. I love him because he's a poet. I love M.I.'s brother, Jay-Z Jazz, because he's a better poet than even M.I. But we're not talking music today, we're talking poetry. But most of the time you can't take away poetry from music, because music is all about lyrics. Poetry is all about lyrics. I'll be ending my class today, and from your feedback, I will know the next step to take. I just want to inspire you that you can be the best. You can be the best of the best when it comes to writing. But you have to be original. You don't have to copy nobody. You have to create a voice for yourself. Let people know you, and don't be distracted if you're not getting the likes, if you're not getting the comments. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching me. By next time I come, I want to see your poems. I want to grade it. By the next submission, a submission is closing on the 13th, few days time. By the next submission, I want to see better write-ups from poets. Thank you for listening. This is your boyfriend on radio. This is your boyfriend on Facebook, Larry Badmus, signing off. I'll see you guys later.